Hey, this is Kris with KrisonSports. How y'all doing? I got the KrisonSports report for November 10th, 2017. Looking forward to a good weekend of Louisiana sports. And I got a few things I want to talk about, so let's get right to it. First and foremost, I want to talk about what happened last Sunday at the Saints game with Tampa and Jameis Winston and Mike Evans. Some of y'all may have seen my other video where I kind of made fun of Jameis's, let's eat a W routine at the beginning of the game. Basically said he actually ate an L instead. So, of course, Mike Evans pushing Marshawn Lattimore in the back. Didn't even get kicked out of the game for that, which was kind of silly, but he did get suspended for a game, so at least they did something. And then, of course, yesterday, Jameis getting fined $12,000 for poking Marshawn Lattimore in the back of the helmet. So that was kind of crazy as well. I am glad that they did something to those guys, because it was a stupid thing for them to do. Marshawn could have gotten seriously hurt, and all because you couldn't catch any passes on him. So, Mike Evans, I wish he would have gotten more than one game, but, we'll take what we can get with that. So that's the main thing, main topic. Moving on to the actual Saints game this weekend at Buffalo. It's going to be a tough game. I know the Saints won the last time they went to Buffalo, which really doesn't mean anything, but it's just interesting to say. Saints going for, 7 wins in a row now? And Buffalo trying to make the playoffs for the first time since '99. The last, of course, a lot of you hardcore sports people are going to know the last time Buffalo played in a playoff game was the Music City Miracle against Tennessee, which is, still talked about big around here in Nashville, of course. So, Buffalo's defense is great. They have the best turnover margin in the NFL. The Saints have one of the best giveaway margins in the NFL, or I guess turnover. It's the same thing, really, isn't it? So, the Saints haven't turned the ball over a ton, and they've taken it away more. But Buffalo has scored multiple defensive touchdowns at home. They seem to play a lot better at home. So it's going to be a tough game for the Saints. Plus, we got to factor in what's the weather going to be like. I mean, there may be some precipitation, whether it's rain or snow, not sure yet. But, we'll have to just wait and see. The Saints don't tend to play super well in the cold. And, it's obvious, right? You practice in Metairie, you play in a dome. Most of your division opponents are in the South or in domes themselves, so you don't play in the cold a ton. Although they did play well enough in Green Bay during that rainstorm, and I know it wasn't obviously freezing cold, but it was still chilly in that game. So, really, can the Saints defense help win this game for us? That's what I think it's going to come down to. The offense is going to have a little success, not a ton, maybe 17, 20 points. Defense has to shut down Buffalo. Have to stop Tyrod Taylor. Have to stop LaShawn McCoy. They got to make sure screens don't kill them. Even though we're the best screen team in the league, at least statistically right now. But Buffalo's pretty good at it too. So we've got to kind of shut that down. And obviously Kelvin Benjamin is somebody who's really familiar with the Saints. He didn't have a big game the last time he played the Saints a few weeks ago when he was still with Carolina. So we'll see how it goes. I think the end result is going to be Saints about 20-13 is what I'm expecting, hoping for. I think the Saints can win this game. I don't think it'll be by more than a touchdown, and I don't think it'll be very high scoring. So we'll hope, that's what's going to happen there. Now, I want to move on to LSU's game against Arkansas. First, let's recap what happened to LSU last Saturday night. They played well. Defensively, they played very well defensively. We actually shut Alabama from running the ball down for the most part, and we ran better against them than we did. Since 7-8 years ago. So there's a lot of positives to look at that game. Obviously the biggest negatives were we had pass plays, we had opportunities to make plays in the passing game. That's what I was trying to say, and just couldn't do it. Had a couple of wide open passes that were either dropped or where Danny just missed the guy. So, that game could have been a lot closer, and we could have given Alabama a much bigger scare than we did. But, it wasn't to be, and so they've beaten us 7 times in a row now. So, maybe next year is finally the year we get them, but we'll see. As far as moving on to this game, we have to play Arkansas. Arkansas has been really up and down. They've barely beaten some teams they probably should have crushed. And then they turn around and beat and won a couple of games they probably shouldn't have won as well. Let's go back to that Ole Miss game when they were down big and figured out how to win that game. So since the game's in Baton Rouge, I think LSU is going to play well. We should better run the ball on them pretty good. Defensively, I think we can hold them down. I'm thinking this is an LSU 31-13 type of game where we win by 14 to 17 points. I mean, maybe it's 38 to 20, maybe it's 20 to 3. I don't know, but I think it's like a 14 to 17 point game is how I best see it. I think Geis is going to have a bigger game than he did against Alabama, and Darrell Williams, he looked really good in the few plays that they let him do Wildcat last week. So I'd love to see that a couple more times. It looks like he was really good at reading his blocks and his keys and getting where he was going. So looking forward to that. Moving on to the Pelicans, the last team I want to talk about today. Last video I spoke about their next 5 games, and they really needed to go at least 3-2 to kind of keep pace in the West. And then they came out and won 3 in a row. So they did exactly what I was hoping they would do. And of course, last night they played Toronto right down to the wire. Really should have won that game. Could have won that game, but blew it in the end. DeRozan just made some clutch shots, and he's getting way better at just being a fourth quarter nightmare for people. So Pelicans fell to Toronto last night. I believe the Clippers are up next, and then they've got a few tough games. I know the Warriors are mixed in there once. The Raptors are mixed in there again. So they've got to keep going. One thing I noticed is DeMarcus Cousins, in my opinion, he's taking way too many three-point shots, and he's hitting some. Don't get me wrong. He's settling for too many threes, and it's driving me nuts. And some of them are just bad shots. And granted, sometimes he takes a really bad three-point shot and it goes in, and so it kind of erases the fact that it was a poor choice. But then there are other times when he takes a bad shot and it misses, and we could have gotten the ball down into Anthony Davis and gotten a much better shot, much more likely to make, to get 2 points out of it than to get the 3. And if you're going to try to go down this path of being like the Rockets and the Warriors and shooting all these 3-pointers, you better have dudes on the team that can make shots. And the Pelicans don't. So they need to focus on hitting timely threes, maybe, trying to get 5 to 8 to 10 threes a game as opposed to 15 to 20 a game. And really focusing on letting Davis and Cousins just destroy people down low. You got both of them in the game. You keep throwing the ball into them. 8 times out of 10, they're going to get the shot they want. It's just a matter of making it. So we're going to have to see. The Pelicans, I don't see them winning more than like 2 out of their next 5, to be honest. And just because they got a couple of tough ones coming up, including the Warriors in Golden State. It's one of those 5, I believe. So we're going to see what's going on. So and the Clippers I mentioned, so that is what it is. So that's it for today. Who dat? Go Tigers. Looking forward to another good weekend of football. We're going to go drinking Saturday night too, so that's going to be fun. And y'all have any comments about anything I say? Throw them in here. Oh, I did want to mention this at the end as well. Looks like Ezekiel, it's finally going to have to sit down a few games. Looks like it's only going to be 4. But I'm glad they at least made a decision, say yay or nay on it. If they weren't if they're gonna keep kind of delaying it, then in my opinion, just forget about it. But at least they're doing it. But it's kind of weird that he has to be punished by being suspended before he ever goes to court for the thing he's being suspended for. So it's kind of goofy, and I don't care for it too much. But not because I'm not a Cowboys fan, as I mentioned previously. So if this helps the Cowboys lose a few games, so be it. But if the man didn't do nothing, there's no reason why he should be getting suspended. But we'll see how that goes. And for God's sakes, Jerry Jones, shut the fuck up, man. For real. I don't understand it, dude. You're a big crybaby. You know, you don't like Goodell. You want Goodell to be gone when his contract expires. The other guys don't. Therefore, you're going to bitch and whine about it. And then I'm going to sue the NFL because I can't get in my way. You know who acts like that? 5-year-olds. Fucking dick. I hate Jerry Jones. Excuse my language, dude, but he's a fucking ass. And he's a big reason, to be honest. I'm going to tell you right now. Jerry Jones is a big reason why a lot of these people who don't like the Cowboys, he's a big reason why they don't. Because he is an arrogant dick. That's it. So now I'm done. Sorry about that rant at the end, but I had to say something that was pissing me off. Y'all take it easy. I'll holler at y'all next time. Kris on Sports. Make sure y'all follow me on Facebook. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter, Instagram. What else am I on? Pinterest. I'm on Snapchat if y'all want to holler at me there as well. All Kris on Sports. Just look for me. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace. Subscribe to Kris on Sports now to keep up with all the latest takes on the Saints, LSU, the Pelicans, and the Predators.